Masculinity, the properties characteristic of the male sex. Masculinity is present throughout all walks of life, but I'm here today in particular to talk about how masculinity has a grip on the sport of rugby union. Australian sociologist Ray Owen Connell has produced more than most on the subject of masculinity in society.
So that one of the things research has repeatedly shown in different parts of the world is a kind of hierarchy among masculinities where in a given community or a given organisation, one kind of masculinity is the honoured one, is the top dog, so to speak, the hegemonic pattern of masculinity, and other forms of masculinity, by contrast, are less honoured, more marginalised.
Connell describes masculinity as a socially constructed concept through what she describes as communities. Take the rugby playing community, for example. Just look at the brutal collisions that make up a game of rugby. The tackling, the rucking, the mauling, and the scrummaging. They're a celebration of strength, power, aggression, and competition that make rugby manly.
The feelings you are breaking, the feelings I was thinking, fires begin to shine, my life's a bitch, I'm here to cut you off, your life is one big shutout, you think I think you wanna see. These are my fears, I fear, if you still hate me, you're thinking of me, I'm here, and I still don't know, I feel so lonely.
Rugby is inherently masculine, and the players that play it are rough, tough guys. But recently, the media has changed the way in which it's portraying some rugby players. For instance, Harris's study of Gavin Henson showed that media discourses have now changed and promote a different breed of rugby athlete, the metrosexual. Through removing the athletes from their natural match environment and showing them in this sexualised manner, the media promotes body image as integral to being a masculine rugby player. But how has this affected the opinions of aspiring rugby players? I've attempted to find out. Could you tell me, in your opinion, what makes a stereotypical rugby player?
I'd say the ideal sort of mesomorph shape. Broad shoulders, chunky legs, just the triangle. I think it probably differs to what the general public thinks, but it's the best qualities from there, probably speed and strength. Obviously, people think that they're just massive fat brutes, big lads who like fighting and play rugby. Well, I'd say the most sort of publicity players get in the media would be for these sort of protein shakes, maxi muscle type adverts with players, tops off, just with very muscly physiques.
In the media, what do you think that sort of says about rugby players?
Just a goddamn good looking man. But, is this Wilkinson? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of that, and a bit of I think the French team did a bit of naked calendar and stuff like that. I suppose you know, like I guess if they can make a livelihood out of it, and there's a demand for them to do it, then why not? You know, it's up to them, I guess.
Looking at this, they've just taken one of the biggest rugby players in the world, photoshopped him to make it look even bigger, and made him maybe in some form of sex symbol as well.
It appears the media's representation of rugby players has changed from the traditional hyper-masculine view to a more image-driven and perhaps metrosexual fashion. Being a rugby player is more than big hits, collisions and tackles. It's also about looking good. This is Pete Vickers saying the media has changed what it takes to be a man.